Every successful person needs a strong pillar of support. And for Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, that pillar is built on two incredible women, his mother, Rita, and his wife, Gloria. Let's start with Rita Suarez. She's not just Mayor Suarez's mom, she's a Cuban immigrant who came to Miami in 1961 at just 7 years old. Imagine starting over in a new country at that age. Her life is a true story of resilience. To this day, she's a constant presence in her son's life. They chat most mornings on his way to work, and she even drops by City Hall for a quick hug now and then. Rita raised 4 kids while teaching full-time for 25 years in Miami's public schools. Her core values, hard work, and grit. She always reminds people that Cuban immigrants arrived with next to nothing, just a few clothes and a strong will to succeed. That mindset shaped her family, especially Francis.
Coming because of the desperation and lack of opportunity.
Francis Suarez is known for his tireless work ethic, but he's also a deeply committed husband and dad. When he and Gloria were expecting their first child after years of struggling with infertility, he actually stepped away from an earlier mayoral run. His priority was clear: family first. Even now, he makes sure to carve out time to take their 2 young kids to school, right in the middle of his packed schedule. Rita also instilled a strong belief in service. Everyone should serve others, she says, and she's lived that out, from helping the homeless during Hurricane Andrew to supporting immigrant families in Miami's Alapata neighborhood. Her influence continues to ripple through her son's work. Mayor Suarez even brings his son, Andrew, to volunteer at Camilla's house every Thanksgiving. It's about passing on the legacy. Now let's talk about the woman Francis Suarez calls his secret weapon, his wife, Gloria Suarez. Gloria's no stranger to hard work either. Like her husband, she was raised in Miami by Cuban immigrant parents. She earned her law degree from St. Thomas University and now runs her own small business while also raising 2 kids, Andrew and Gloriana, and supporting her husband's demanding schedule.
Francis is the definition of a public servant.
She's deeply involved in the behind-the-scenes workings of public life, coordinating calendars, offering logistical support, and popping into the mayor's office for quick check-ins. My visits serve 2 purposes, she explains. It's good for morale because it gives us little moments to reconnect, and I can also help his staff fill in the blanks because I have the bigger picture of his life. Gloria says her deep sense of gratitude comes from watching her parents and grandparents sacrifice everything to build a better life in this country. That's why she's committed to giving back to the Miami community they helped shape.
Francis looks at the city of Miami as his family. On a regular basis, we're in touch with people who need individual help in the city, and we want for them exactly what we would want for our own children.
But more than anything, she's the one who keeps things grounded. While Francis might be the public figure, Gloria creates the calm. On weekends, it's all about family, bike rides, park outings, swimming, and scavenger hunts. She says, having a normal life is important, and Francis agrees. The intensity of our life is such that when we get to reconnect and spend time together, it's always a lot of fun for me. And I don't have much luxuries beyond that, he said. Gloria's support for her husband is truly inspiring. And when it comes to power couples in the Republican Party, Greg Abbott and his wife Cecilia also share a remarkable story worth telling.
I am so proud to have by my side my wife of 33 years, Cecilia.
They met back at the University of Texas at Austin. And yes, there's a love story here too. Word has it, Cecilia once serenaded him from behind a keyboard at her dorm. Sounds like a rom-com, right? Well, it only gets more emotional from there. Greg proposed to Cecilia in 1981 during a walk along San Antonio's Riverwalk. That same year they got married, and fun fact, they even share a birthday. It really does seem like they were meant to be. But just a few years into their marriage, life threw them a curveball no one could have expected. In 1984, Greg was out jogging in Houston when a 75-foot oak tree fell on him. He was just a newly graduated law student at the time. The accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. It wasn't just a fracture. It was a life-altering injury. Crushed vertebrae, broken ribs, damaged organs. Doctors inserted 2 steel rods near his spine that are still there to this day. Even as Greg lay in a hospital bed, facing a future he never imagined, he wasn't alone. Cecilia was right there. One of Greg's colleagues, Kent Sullivan, later said Cecilia was a pillar of strength for him, and not in the vague, supportive spouse way. Cecilia literally helped him get used to life in a wheelchair, made their home a place where friends could still gather for poker nights, and used her sense of humor to lift his spirits. It wasn't easy, but they got through it, together.
And it was after the accident that put me in the wheelchair that I went on to become a Supreme Court Justice, the longest-serving Attorney General, and now Governor of the great state of Texas, showing that anybody can achieve anything in this great state.
After 16 years of marriage, Greg and Cecilia's lives changed again, this time in the most joyful way, when they adopted their daughter, Audrey. And when asked about it, Greg didn't hold back. He said, "Of all the decisions I've made in my life, in politics or otherwise, adopting Audrey was the best one I've ever made." He talked about holding her for the first time and knowing instantly that she would be his top priority. "Give it your heart and soul," he said to anyone thinking of adopting. "You won't regret it."
Joys of our marriage and adopting our daughter Audrey showed me the depths of his love and commitment.
Audrey mostly keeps a low profile, even though she grew up in the public eye. She's now working in the entertainment industry and event planning. She used to be active in her dad's campaigns, too, appearing at several events throughout his political career.
And we are so proud of our teenage daughter, Audrey. Through her eyes, I see the future generations of Texas, and it looks pretty good.
More recently, she got engaged to her college sweetheart at a summer camp in front of family and friends. And yes, Governor Abbott proudly shared the moment online, clearly bursting with pride. Now let's talk about Cecilia, because she's not just the governor's wife. Far from it. She's the first Hispanic First Lady of Texas, and her own journey is pretty remarkable. The granddaughter of Mexican immigrants, Cecilia grew up in San Antonio in a family of educators. They raised her to value learning, hard work, and helping others. And she ran with that. She earned 3 degrees, psychology, education, and theology, and went on to become a teacher, a school principal, and later a leader in senior healthcare services. As First Lady, she launched Texanthropy, a statewide initiative to promote volunteerism and giving back. But she didn't stop there. Cecilia has also been a champion for foster care and adoption, especially through programs like the Heart Gallery. And she's deeply involved in efforts to combat child exploitation through the GRACE initiative. She serves on several nonprofit boards and is known for showing up, getting involved, and truly caring. Not just in front of cameras, but behind the scenes too.